So the beans have the sweet tangy taste, and then the potatoes have some mushrooms, cheese. All of this just blends very well together. Welcome back to Kiki's Global Flavors. My name is Kiki. So today we are going to be in South Africa. We're going to be making potato mushroom bake and chakalaka. You would ask, what is potato mushroom bake and what is chakalaka? So for potato mushroom bake, as the name just denotes, that's just potatoes, mushrooms, and just some other veggies which you bake in the oven. And the history of this, in my research, this was introduced by a man named Jan van, who was a Dutch colonial administrator, and this is sort of an invention that came with him during the 17th century. For the chakalaka, this was in Johannesburg. The mine workers there actually would make this as a quick meal for them while they were working. Here we have a couple of things. It seems a bit much, but not so much really. So on this side, I have what I need for my potato mushroom bake, which is the main thing would be just the potatoes. So to reduce the time, because this is going to go to the oven, I boiled this, not all the way through, just maybe like halfway through, and then I sliced them into thin slices. And then I have some mushrooms. I'm going to also be layering this with cream. If you've made lasagna before, the concept is the same. So we are going to be having different layers. Chakalaka, so chakalaka is, the main thing is baked beans. So for the mine workers, as I mentioned earlier, you would ideally know that they would need something that would be a bit fast and a bit filling, because they did not have the time to be making very long meals. So yeah, I have my baked beans, that's the main thing, and a bit of spices, which I'll be showing you. Here we also have some cheese. This is going to go in our potato mushroom bake, because if you're baking, for example, lasagna, you need cheese for it to melt. It gives it the gooey, nice flavor. To start us off, we're going to make the chakalaka first. This is olive oil. You can use vegetable oil too. My onion, so in here I have red and white onion. So I don't think there is a problem with you using either, but I wanted to mix because I have both, so I thought the sweet and the savory would balance out, so I wanted to use both. As we wait for the onions, maybe I can also mention sort of a fun fact. So for chakalaka, it's mostly made add with pap. So pap is the same, not the same, like in different cultures you'd say almost the same as ugali or fufu. So they actually use the maize meal, and then it's a bit softer. So the process of making it makes it a bit softer as opposed to ugali. So ideally this is mostly add with pap, but because we made ugali in this channel just a couple of episodes back, I thought it would be interesting to also do the potato mushroom bake, since that's also a meal that is also added with this, so that you can be able to explore different kinds of food. And this is also another fact, is this is add over braai. So braai in South Africa is basically sort of a barbecue or a social function where you have like people coming together. So I think that is the term braai can also cut across different cultures. So now maybe that's a new thing you can be saying, that you and your friends are going for braai. Yeah, so that was interesting to learn. So I think my onions are fine. It says we're putting our spices this early because this is not, you remember baked beans are already ready. So you want your spices to cook early enough so that you don't end up with powder in your food. So I've reduced the heat to the minimum at the moment. So I'm going to add my garlic. So I'm using my eyes to measure. So you're also going to do a bit more of curry powder. So of course this depends with how much spice you normally take in your house. So the spices are coming this early because of course this is going to be a very fast recipe. So at this point I'm going to add my tomatoes, and then I'll add my tomato paste also, but I want my tomatoes to cook a bit more fast and also soak in all the powder from the spices. I'm also going to be adding my peppers at this point because I want them to at least cook so it's not too much. Water, so I'm just pouring that in. We'll let that cook. So we are just forming a sauce. I think this is good enough for me. I want it to be chunky. I don't want it to be watery, so I want this chunkiness. And then now I'm going to, this is some grated carrots. Stir this in and let this soak in for around 5 minutes. Then we're going to just do our baked beans. So this has simmered very well. I have my baked beans here. I'm going to pour that in. So I know for most of us, or some of us, we just are used to baked beans during breakfast, but it's interesting to see that different cultures incorporate their meals differently. So you see, this is now like the fulmedens, that was a breakfast or even lunch. This is also like even a celebration meal. So we just need to be open-minded because it's just the way you're used to doing things. There's so many other ways of doing them. So I'll just use two baked beans are naturally sweet, so the kick of the pepper and the spices balances it out. So this already looks so yummy. We can even leave it at this, but I want this to just simmer. I'll add just a tiny bit of water. We don't want it to be soupy, but just a tiny to break the consistency, and then let this simmer under low heat. Then you're going to just sprinkle some lime to just elevate it, and that will be basically it. So we are now going to start making our potato mushroom bake, slightly above 180. Yeah. So as the oven is preheating, I have melted some butter, so I'm going to pour this in. So with that, I'm now going to start pouring in my ingredients. Some double cream. I'm going to pour in like maybe half or slightly more than half. Then I'm going to mix in some onion powder. After this, you're now going to start layering our ingredients. So I have my crushed garlic. So my actually slices. So I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit. Then my onion rings. Sprinkle some mushrooms. And then I'm going to pour in, remember, our cream and onion powder. Then we're going to sprinkle some black pepper. So this is more, there are no really measurements. I can't tell you what I am measuring really. Some salt. So you need to be careful, of course, with the salt because it's very easy to overdo. The onion powder normally tastes a bit salty for me, so I'm not going very heavy on the salt. Then I have my thyme and put them in there. So that's sort of our first layer. Yeah, so then we'll keep going. I'm going to now go in for the other layer. Probably I'll get 3 layers of this. So for this one, I'm not very keen on it covering all the surfaces like the first one. Yeah, so mine will be 3 layers. I can already see. Then we just redo. So now knowing that I only have 1 layer remaining, I can estimate how many onions I need to have at the end. So we pour in just a little. Then we also need, I didn't put the garlic. The mushrooms. So I'm only leaving a few for the other layer. The black pepper, the salt, the thyme, then we do one last one. For me, I like a bit of black pepper, so of course if you're not a big fan, you can put a little, just keep it all together. So the last thing is thyme. Okay, that's about it for the thyme. Then we will do the last layer now. Our potato mushroom bake has been going for a while, so I'm just now going to add in some cheese and I'll show you as I do that. that's enough. So we cover it back. There you have it, our potato mushroom bake and chakalaka. So I'm just going to go in for a taste test. This already looks so yummy. Even I'll tell you. So the beans have the sweet tangy taste, and then the potatoes have some mushrooms, cheese. All of this just blends very well together. So please try this and let me know.